Debt can be a relentless weight on your shoulders, especially if you find yourself staring down a collection notice for a debt you don't even recognize. This is where the magical tool known as a debt validation letter comes into play. If you're feeling overwhelmed by collections and wondering how to take control of your financial situation, you're in the right place. Let's dive into what a debt validation letter is, why it's essential, and how you can request one effectively. By the end of this post, you'll have a comprehensive understanding of this powerful tool at your disposal. What is a debt validation letter? A debt validation letter is a written communication requesting a creditor or debt collector to provide proof that you owe a specific debt. Under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, FDCPA, you have the right to ask for this validation, especially when a debt collector first contacts you. When you receive a notice about a debt, it's crucial to make sure that debt actually belongs to you. Sometimes debts can be misreported, or you may be contacted about a debt that has already been settled or paid off. A validation letter is your first step in verifying those details. Why is a debt validation letter important? 1. Protects your rights. Requesting a debt validation letter is your legal right. Knowing you're within your rights to ask for proof can give you some peace of mind. 2. Prevents errors. There's a slew of reasons why a debt might be wrongly attributed to you. Identity theft, clerical errors, outdated information, or even duplications. A validation letter helps you weed out these inaccuracies. 3. Stalls collections. Once you send your debt validation letter, collection activities must stop until the collector verifies the debt. This can provide you with a much-needed breather while you sort through your finances. 4. Potentially affects your credit. If the debt is invalid and you successfully dispute it, it might just help clean up your credit report. No one wants erroneous debts dragging down their credit score. The essential elements of a debt validation letter. When you're ready to request a debt validation letter, it's vital to include certain elements to ensure you get a proper response. A well-structured letter can save you time and lead to better results. Here are the key components. 1. Your contact information. Start with your name, address, and phone number. This makes it easy for the creditor or collector to identify who you are. 2. Creditor's contact information. Include the name of the creditor or debt collector, their address, and any account number you may have. 3. Date. Always date your letter to create a record of correspondence. 4. Clear request for validation. Be sure to state in unmistakable terms that you are requesting validation of the debt pursuant to the FDCPA. Use language like, "I am writing to request that you validate the debt you claim I owe, as required by the FDCPA." 5. Details of the debt. Make sure to reference the specific debt you are inquiring about. Include any account numbers or relevant details that may help the collector understand which debt you are discussing. 6. Signature. End with your signature to add credibility to your letter. How to write your debt validation letter. Now that you know what to include, let's dig into how to craft a compelling debt validation letter. Here's a simple template you can adapt to your needs. Your name, your address, city, state, zip code, email address, phone number, date, creditor's name, creditor's address, city, state, zip code. Subject, debt validation request. Dear creditor's name, I am writing to formally request a validation of the debt that you claim I owe, pursuant to the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, FDCPA. The account in question is insert account number or reference number, and I received your notice regarding this debt on insert date. To ensure that this is a debt I am legally obligated to respond to, I request that you provide me with the following. 1. The amount of the debt you claim I owe. 2. The name of the creditor to whom the debt is currently owed. 3. Verification that you are authorized to collect this debt. 4. A detailed explanation of the nature of the debt. Please consider this letter a request under the FDCPA for written validation of this debt. I kindly ask that all collection activities cease until this validation is completed. Thank you for your prompt attention to this matter. I look forward to receiving the requested information. Sincerely, your signature, your printed name. Next steps: sending your debt validation letter. Once your letter is polished and ready to go, you must decide how to send it. Here are some tips to ensure it gets the attention it deserves. 1. Send via certified mail. Always send your debt validation letter via certified mail with a return receipt requested. This gives you proof that the creditor received your request. 2. Keep copies. Make sure to keep a copy of your letter and any subsequent communications for your records. 3. Follow up. If you don't receive a response within 30 days, consider following up with another letter or a phone call. What happens next? Once the collection agency receives your request, they are legally obliged to halt collection actions while they verify the debt. During this time, they should gather the necessary documents, including the original loan agreement or contract, payment history, any relevant communications related to the debt. If they can't provide validation, they must cease all collection efforts and may have to remove the negative account from your credit report. Yay for you! Potential pitfalls to be aware of. 1. Non-response. Some collectors may ignore your validation request. If this happens, you get to flex your rights. Document your attempts to reach out, and if they continue to attempt collections, consider reaching out to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, CFPB, or a legal professional. 2. Debts still validated. Sometimes they will furnish proof, and the debt is indeed valid. At this point, you'll need to decide on your next steps, whether to negotiate, establish a payment plan, or arrange for a lump sum settlement. 3. Amend your credit report. If the debt is validated, you may need to review your credit report to ensure it reflects correctly. Request a copy of your credit report. You're entitled to one free report annually from each of the 3 major credit bureaus. Coping with debt. Requesting a debt validation letter is a powerful step toward taking control of your financial life. This proactive approach allows you to assert yourself against potentially erroneous claims. However, it's also crucial to address the bigger picture of debt management overall. Here are some proactive strategies for coping with debt and building a healthy financial future. 1. Budgeting. Create a solid budget to plan for monthly expenses and allocate funds toward debt repayment. There are several apps available to assist you in tracking your spending. 2. Emergency fund. Build an emergency fund that covers 3 to 6 months of living expenses. This will prevent you from relying on credit cards or loans in case unforeseen events arise. 3. Financial counseling. If you're feeling overwhelmed,